Let's do it. Let's do it. Oh my goodness, let's do it. Ladies and gentlemen, Team No Slate. What's today? December 28th. It's the end of the year. Montel Allen, how you living, man?
Man, blessed, man, as usual, man. It's, the end of the year.
Yeah.
Our last show for the year before we step into the new year,
Ooh-wee. Step into
getting
the
ready
new
to,
year.
hopefully celebrate like it's 1999 and go into 2024.
Man, go in and with high hopes, high opportunities, all kind of things. This was a weird year in all kind of
Man,
aspects, man, and especially for us. So we folks, chime in. Welcome to the show. Let us know that you're here. Tell us where you're coming from. But so now that I'm thinking about it, there were so many things from a social impact of sports conversation that we covered in 2022. Uh,
yeah, I think even more so than that, man. I think just social issues, period.
yeah,
From everything from dealing with COVID to dealing with all these racial incidents that we had. I mean, we're still suffering over, the stuff with George Floyd and Breonna Taylor
yeah,
and those things. We're still not over those things. Those things are still those things keep resurfacing.
right.
As far as those things are there, we had the incident over in Yuba City with the high school kids.
Around the
Um,
corner from me, man. So I mean, not really
yeah, yeah,
necessarily, but down the street. So I'm like, dang, that's so his home
yeah,
because it's so close to
yeah.
home.
We're dealing with all. I mean, we're dealing from all that stuff to Will Smith slapping Chris Rock on
Slapped him in the
TV. I
face.
mean, we just deal with this. Is I mean, I was looking at the news, and it was just like how mental health is at an all time high now, right? The,
True.
the the part of mental health is at an all time high as far as people suffering from all kinds of stuff, from post traumatic syndrome to just the incidences happening that are really just throwing them off balance. And I look at myself, I'm like, we could blame a lot on mental health, but we can also we need to blame a lot on, I think, on parents as well, man. I think we're raising some mentally weak,
Mm.
to deal
Talk
with
about that.
things.
Okay.
Our societies became really soft, and I particularly say on young men. We became soft on them. We give them a pass on everything they do. We reward them for things they don't even achieve. We're coming to a society where it's that culture climate, it's that kind of stuff that's there, man. It's just, to me, we can say we're dealing with mental health, but I think a lot of things are mentally weak situations that we're not toughing it through. We're not over to overcome or and deal with these things. Don't get me wrong. I'm not belittling mental health at all. I think there is some situations that's wrong, but I also believe there's some things that we, as men, when we grew up, we were able to overcome that these young men aren't able to overcome. They don't know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
So that's
Uh,
frustrating.
yeah. I like you bringing that statement up, that conversation up, and I'm not even gonna be humble. I'm gonna pat us on the back for saying
Mm-hmm.
that again, over this year, we've taken the time to talk about a lot of those issues. We've wrapped it around the auspices and wrapped it around sports and the sport industry because a lot of folks gravitate to that. And unfortunately, right, we've seen a lot of instances where mental awareness, mental illness, mental X, Y, and Z, whatever you want to call it, domestic violence, uh,
Mm-hmm.
financial issues, all kinds of things that affect everybody. Right, we've had the courage to shine a light on that and not let them go. But again, wrapping it around something that folks will enjoy talking about. Hey, we want to talk about the Derek Carrs. We want to talk about the LeBron James, but we're not going to talk about what shoes he's wearing or what house he's buying and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
We want to talk about the things that are going on around that we can affect and then we can deal with and then we can relate to. And again, it's unfortunate. There's been so many stories right about the things that we talked about the Naomi Osaka's. I mean that's huge, right? Just the fact that again she had the courage to be very public about what was going on in her life, and we didn't let it go. We didn't stop,
No,
right? We kept going.
no.
We wanted to make sure that folks was aware that
But see, but I think, and I don't mean to interrupt you, but I think
yeah,
the thing with her, she pressed pause, right? She said, I'm going through some things. Let me press pause,
right.
get myself together before I go back. Then we deal with the situations like Ben Gordon, mental health
And
issues.
yeah,
Went from all the way from not only hitting his kid, being arrested several times since then,
yeah,
even being accused of stabbing some people with a pencil. Um, dealing with those issues, and don't know what he's going through, don't know what's going on with him. She was mature enough to press pause, get help for herself. He wasn't, and now he's going through these things. I think, and again, I never want to belittle mental health because I know it is an issue.
Yeah.
But also on the flip side, I do think that I play the devil, the other side of the coin. I think people use that as an excuse sometimes, and I think some people are just mentally weak. They just choose not to. They choose to use that as that crutch instead of fighting through and persevering through whatever they're going through to come to get to the other outcome. My mom always told me you got to go through hell in order to enjoy heaven.
Come on now.
Always,
Come on now.
you got to go through hell.
Yeah.
Our kids don't know how to deal with hell in order to get to heaven. They want everything to be given to them. We're in that instant gratification era, and it doesn't work that way on a lot of things.
So what do we do? Right. Okay. So let's we're gonna get into the stories, folks. But you know, you come here, you know, you're gonna get a lesson in psychology and all kind of things when Dr. Allen hits the microphone. What do we do as a society? Right. We can't go out there and we can't boil the ocean. Meaning we can't touch every single body, but I am a huge proponent of we can touch those within our sphere of influence. So
Mm-hmm.
the folks that are closest to us, we can either live by an example, we can have those conversations. You and I have talked a lot of times about making sure we reach out and mentor and actually pay attention to the
Mm-hmm.
youth, right? Because
Yeah.
the youth are the ones that are being let go or forgotten about and being subjected to all these other things, external influences. So I'm even asking this not just of you, but I'm asking this of the folks in the community that are chiming in with comments. What's the challenge that we put upon ourselves to be better? You mentioned that a couple of weeks ago, right? Just what can we do? We can just be better. What can we
Yeah.
do that's actionable right now, December 28th, 6:38 p.m. Pacific time, that we can do better for the person next to us?
I think challenge. Not only reach out, observe, but then challenge. Right? Challenge people to do better. Challenge them to definitely do better in all aspects of life. Whether it be challenge you to go out and just say hi to the next person and do better, or I need you to fight through this situation you're going through. Right? You have to get another job so you can make those ends meet. You can't let yourself sit down. You can't let yourself get weak. You got to fight through it in order for yourself to become successful. Because at the end, you're always a better person. No matter what you do, at the end, you're always a better person for going through it.
Okay.
So I think we have to be able to challenge, especially when it comes to youth. This instant gratification thing has weakened us as a group, and I'm talking specifically us men of color in our urban neighborhoods. It's weakening us. It's weakening us. This instant gratification thing, this thing that we don't have. We're supposed to be entitled to get this. We're supposed to get this. Supposed to give it to us. No one's going to give us anything but prison time.
Ooh.
That's all they handed out for free.
Come on now.
They ain't handing nothing else out for free but prison time.
Yeah.
So you got to figure yourself a challenge. You got to challenge yourself to do something better, and really put yourself in a situation to do better. I know college isn't for everyone, but I believe everyone deserves an opportunity to go to college. I think we need to be more responsible to educate ourselves. We got to be honest. We play two different worlds, man. We play our world, and then we have to play the systems world. I ain't gonna say white man, but the systems world. I'm two different people. I'm a corporate person during the day, and then I'm Montel myself at night. I can be around my people. I can speak my village. I can hang out. I can do all I want. We got to be able to teach our kids to do that because my mom taught me that when I was young.
Right. Right.
Your mom taught you that. Your parents taught you that when you were young.
They chiming in the comments right here, and I know both of them sitting there nodding right now. So
Yeah,
exactly, yeah.
Yeah, you got to cut. You got to cut your hair. You got to speak a certain way. You got to pull your pants up, wear your belt. You got to handle yourself in a different way, in a different manner.
Okay, so do we do that? And I'm gonna get into these comments too. I see Kevin, I see Jim chiming in with some good stuff. Now, do we do that because we know better, and if we want to succeed and we want to look professional, right? You look good, you feel good. What's the old statement that Dion said back in the day, right? You look good, you feel good, and mess around, they pay good, right? But
I'm gonna take it one further.
You show up looking like a professional. You're gonna have that air and that atmosphere around you to be and be more of a professional.
I'm gonna put it in the sports terms. And I was watching Dion's podcast with Shannon Sharp. He was saying that there's NAR money out there. And I'm gonna teach you how to get that money. You know how I'm gonna teach you how to get that money? I'm gonna teach you how to cut your hair, look nice and neat, speak a certain way, because no company like Ford, GM, HP is gonna come to you when you got dreads and tattoos all over your face and your neck, and you talk about, you know what I'm saying, after every word. We need to teach us how to be professionals. Just like we need to teach young ladies how to be young ladies, right? You can't be hoochie mama shaking your butt on camera all the time. You got to be able to learn how to be a professional. And at some point, it's lost. It got lost, right? It's okay to be in front of that camera, shaking your ass, showing everything you want to show to get these likes. It's okay for you to be on camera, talking, yapping, whatever you want to, with your pants hanging down and the dreads and throwing money in the air and all this. That's supposed to be then because you get likes. But in the long run, we know that's not long term. That's not a long term goal because everybody gets older and you get more mature. The women that are shaking their butts, they lose their figure. Then what happens? Young men that's running around with their money, talking about game banging and this. That stuff goes away because it's not cool no more. You can't be in that situation because it becomes deadly. Then what are you going to do? Because that expiration date happens about 27 years old.
Yeah.
You'd be lucky if you make it in there around 30. But it expires around 27. So now what are we going to do now? What are we going to? I know when I was 27, I was buying my first house. You know why?
Yeah. So
I'm a proof of fact. Educated, got a degree, got a good job, bought a house. Now, everybody may talk, they want that fast life and everything, but we know there's an expiration date on that. And I believe that instant gratification, man, we got to go, man. We got to go back to hard work. And I'm not talking about you can't own your own business, you can't do all those things that people are inspiring to do, but there's a right way and there's a wrong way of doing it. One's a hustle and one's a actual doing.
Come on,
doing
there you
go.
Right. See, there you go. And so that right there, I'm looking at, and the word specifically hustle, I'm looking for. And we got some entrepreneurs on the line right here. I see JP. Appreciate you for being here, brother. And listen, that man is an entrepreneur, brick and mortar shop. He is making cash. He's doing it right over in Tennessee. But so let me ask this: when it's no longer just a hustle, when we actually start doing those things, shaving, wearing the nice suits, wearing the speaking cleanly and professionally, things like that. Why is it that we are the only culture out there that will look at you and say, Montel, you didn't mess around and sold out because you trying to better yourself, or you seem to be different. You seem to be changing. You're going to college, you're paying your bills on time, you got food in the refrigerator, you're doing wearing your pants with a belt. Why is it? And we're going to get to some sports stuff in a minute too, but why is it that we are the crab in the barrel type of society, Black folks, who feel that I can't let you get ahead of me? What you and I are talking about right now, changing the dynamic and changing the perspective. Too. Okay, right. We are right now talking about changing the dynamic and the perspective of what a young Black man looks like out there in society, because we are really having a hard time. We are really dying out there every single day. So how do we change that perspective and that dynamic? And how do I not see you on the news tonight at 11 o'clock because something negative has happened? Why is it that the rest of the folks around us are those acquaintances, not the friends and not the family, right? So again, keep that circle close. Why is it those acquaintances that we may have grown up with are always saying, man, Montel, you selling out, man. You forgetting where you come from.
Because we're taught.
Let's get out of that. Let's get out of that.
Yeah. I think we're taught to challenge each other in a negative way when we're young. And what I mean by that, we're taught to be competitive in everything we do when we're young, right?
And there's nothing wrong with that. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. But then it's been taken to a point where it's almost too far, right? We want to compete in everything you do. And if I can't beat you, instead of celebrating your success, I hate on your success. I think I told you this before, and I think I'm a victim of it too.
Yeah,
we grew up in the hip hop community, right? I think we're part of the hip hop culture era that we are, especially in the urban areas. We're the only society that are cannibals. We eat and chew our own up. We hunt our success. We hunt towards detriment. We're the only community that kills our millionaires. Think about that.
It's crazy.
Hip hop generation is the only generation that kills the successful millionaires. Doesn't happen in country music. Doesn't happen in rock and roll. Doesn't happen anywhere else. But in our culture, we hunt them. We kill them. And the list goes down the line. Pop Smoke, PB and Rock. The boy from the Amigos just got killed.
Takeoff. Or the young man just now, right?
Yeah. Just down. All these are successful young men. We should be celebrating their success, right? We should be wanting to learn from them. We should be wanting to pick their brains and figure out how we can do the same thing or build off what they've already created. But instead, we decide to destroy. And it's pitted in a situation where, like you said, that crab in the barrels. It goes back to, like you said, in the slavery days. What did they do in the slavery days? The house brother, was pitted against the people that were working in the field.
Mm-hmm.
Always. In prison, we're pitted against each other. Hey, you guys are over here in this section. Those guys, you sit in that section. In our neighborhoods, we're pitted against each other. You got Bloods and Crips. Every situation, you're pitted against each other. We don't celebrate each other at all. It's hard. For some reason, we don't like to celebrate and learn. And I think it's that thing that we overrate so much as pride. Pride is overrated.
Wow.
Pride is nothing but our emotion.
Let that marinate just for a minute.
I'm gonna let it marinate.
Is over. So
Pride
where did it come from? Where did this pride come from? Is it because we tuned into all these channels and we saw other folks having other things, I'm gonna date myself, spinning rim, had the big jewelry and all, and we wanted that and felt you owe that to me. Well, I should have that as well. Is it pride from that perspective, or is it pride?
No, I think it's pride from the.
And I'm just asking the questions just to just to get the engagement going, folks.
It comes from our upbringing. What did your mom say? You don't need nothing from nobody. You get it yourself. There
it is.
Right. You don't need no handouts. You don't need no handouts. You don't need that. You get up and get it yourself. Yeah. When actuality, we do. We need the handout. We need is knowledge. That's the part we're missing. Yeah, we do need handouts. We need knowledge. We need transfer of knowledge. That's what we need. And we don't get it. We need transfer of success. We don't get it. We have lack of nepotism in our community. I believe in nepotism. Hey, if I got a son and I own a business, my son's taking over my business. Absolutely, 100%. No doubt about it. Or my daughter's taking over my business. 100%.
I'm gonna talk to the youngsters who are gonna be listening and watching, who know about instant on society. We've talked about him a lot, Dion, right? Dion has his sons working all the social media, doing all the merch, right? He's going over from Jackson State to Colorado now, and he's bringing his entire old squad with him. All his old, Lord, my children fell out the chair. Oh
no, my thing fell off.
Right, he's bringing all his old people with him. So there's nothing wrong with bringing your squad, bringing your people, if they are good people who are also of the same accord, on the same mission, and have the same perspective as you. Nothing wrong with that. Go ahead, man.
No, I think that's the beauty of being sports, right? The McCaffreys do it. The Mannings have done it for years.
Oh man, the Mannings they wrote the book on it.
Yeah, the coach, not McVay, but the coach for the 49ers, his dad was Shanahan's. They've been doing it for years. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it at all. I think that's a part of doing successful business. That's how they stay rich. They keep it in the family and keep that generational thing going on within their family. We don't, so for the most part. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's some companies and people that do it, but we do it for the most part, and we definitely don't preach it.
Yeah.
We just don't preach it. And we don't teach that. I'm telling you, man, we all talk about pride. Pride, you got to be pride. You can't, don't do that. Yeah, you can be pride to a certain extent, but not pride enough, not so prideful that you can't ask for help, or you can't ask for something to be taught to you, for you to learn the lesson. It's almost like we almost reject it. I don't need you telling me nothing. And we hear it all the time, man. I don't need to listen to you. Old school, I ain't listening to you. I don't want to go through what you're going. Well, you should. You need to. You need to listen so you don't have to go through the hardships that we went through. And if we have knocked down all those barriers, great. So we made it easier for you to get through. But that fact that they don't want to listen, and I'll take it in sports, and we listen to sports talk. We hear sports guys and rappers and all of. Oh, that's old. He old school. I ain't trying to listen to him. I'm trying to just do my thing. The guy we're going to talk about today, Javonte Davis, he don't want to listen to Floyd Mayweather. Right? A person that's been into the pinnacle and did it. He wants to go do it on his own. There's nothing wrong with branching out your own business as long as you learn. And people got to learn. Our people need to learn more from the older generation and understand, and not being this instant gratification thing, because you got to go through some type of perseverance in order to be successful. Yeah. Nothing is always going to be successful when you get through it. And I think where we lack that, what you were saying today, when they hit that roadblock, think about it. They don't have no one to go to because they already told them, I don't need your help. And now you're stuck. Now you're frustrated. Now we go into this mental state thing, right? Of frustration. Frustration mixed with poverty is a bad mix. That's like mixing white liquor and dark liquor. It's a bad mix. Something
Don't
gonna
do it.
happen bad at the
Don't
end.
do. I've done it before. Don't.
you know,
Don't
you know
do
what
it
I'm
no
saying?
more. Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
gonna happen bad in the end. So I wish, I really do wish, man. You're saying what we should challenge. I think we need a challenge. Even if it's just to listen more,
Yeah.
right? We need to challenge each
Good
other,
point.
just like I said, but reach out, listen a little bit more, understand, and embrace it, man.
Ooh.
Embrace that criticism, right? Don't shelter. Embrace that criticism, because last time I heard, criticism is nothing more but an instruction to get you better. So take it. No one's giving you criticism if they tell you to do something wrong. They give you criticism to give you better, get you better. So I think
Right.
that's where we need to go in, man.
So I got a couple things that I want to say. I see everyone in the comments. Appreciate y'all. Tall boy, I saw you got caught up by the bot there. Don't trip. I'm loosening the requirements on the emojis. You're not getting spammed, and Kevin, don't kick him out of the chat just yet. But this is a good statement here by my man Noosh right here. Nothing wrong with asking for help or advice. Takes a real man or woman to know this. I really like that. That's a great point. So let me ask you this, and then we'll move on to our stories. And it's a facetious question because I know the answer. Is it too late? Is it too late for us to go out there and listen? Go out there and talk to the youth. Have our youth already gotten to the point where we can't reach them?
I don't think it's too late. I don't think it's too late, but I do think there needs to be a call to action, and I do believe they need to hear from different voices. If I heard something from my mom, and then I hear from your mom coming over your house, and then I hear from my auntie, then it starts to resonate, right? Maybe I'm doing something wrong or something to change. It needs to be echoed. But if we're talking about, hey, we're just gonna let them go, yeah, it will be eventually too late. But I believe, man, schools, coaches, and people that have influence really need to echo something different than what they're doing, because it's not working, right? I mean, I'm not understanding why we're still have dismal numbers in colleges or opportunities to go to college. Why are we having dismal numbers in them? Why they keep pushing the military on us? Why are they pushing these things on? There's a reason why. Why? Why do you think? And I know they said they're closing prisons and all that stuff, but they're giving out time like it ain't no problem.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that society gives us for free is time behind them walls. And really, it ain't free because it costs us on the outside to pay for that time they spend in the inside. So
Boy, we
everything
we, we
costs.
having class tonight. We having class.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm just. It's not too late, man. I just think there needs to be a different message. It just
Yeah.
needs to start to become a different message, and it's going to be hard to get them to listen because the instant gratification and the street culture is dominant right now. It is. It's just it's attractive. It's dominant. It's glorified. Everything is there that a person that's always been alone needs, right? You get to be glorified. You get to be praised. You get things in return that are monetary. You get the
Mm,
flash. You get the shine. All those things are there. So why would I do anything else instead of do that? It's kind of the same thing we've always fought in our neighborhoods, but now it's just at a different level, right? In the '60s, they fought it a little bit differently, but they had different speakers and different leaders. And as you can see, the street culture has grown over the years to the 2000s, but our leaders have died out. We don't have a common voice for our urban market. We don't
that is
have that
true.
common leader.
That is true.
They've
So
all, they've all, they've all, they're all gone. All of them are gone.
they're all gone, and I want to lean into that right there. That's consciously why we started Team No Sleep, because that is where the voice of, fortunately or unfortunately, that's where the voice of the culture is. That's where the voice again of the youth who are trying to make sure it don't get forgotten. That's who our 10 through 21-year-olds, whatever the demographic is, that's who they're listening to. They're listening
Mhm.
to the person swinging the bat, dribbling the ball, kicking the ball, doing whatever. And because we don't have the Malcolms anymore, we don't have the Martins anymore. We don't Jesse and the Andrews, right? Those folks aren't as loud and forward as they used to be. Let them go ahead. There should have been someone else that tagged in. Right, there should
Well,
have been someone else that came in and took that
I,
place.
I, I don't think someone else should. I think we as societies or we as neighborhoods and communities should have tagged in. right? We should have picked up the
Golly, say
baton
that, man. Come
when
on
when
now.
they when they dropped it. We should have picked the baton. But what they said or what they divisive was like, oh, go to church. Church is the word it's going to lead. That's not church is not for everybody, just like college is not for everybody. That message isn't for everybody like everybody else, and they don't digest it the same way. And it's hard. It's hard when you're being judged at church, right? Because we know some of those things have been situations where they've got glamorized or got corrupt or got whatever to this situation. I just believe, man, the message has to definitely be something. It has to be delivered by at home because that's the person you're gonna see every day. And if it ain't at home, they're gonna spend 8 hours at school. The message needs to be delivered at school, right? Definitely, we need to be able to convey the message like, look, get over this pride stuff. Get over the, and I'm not saying being prideful in your culture, but get over this pride stuff. We don't want to ask for help. Get over being this angry, and let's start learning from other people's successes instead of being mad about it. You don't need to be angry about everybody's success. You can learn from it and learn from it and learn how to maneuver through it so you can be successful.
Yeah.
What a tall man.
Well, listen, you getting accolades left and right.
No, I'm just man.
Now I'm getting jealous, because
Nah,
look,
nah, nah, man.
Sim said
I'm
Montel is
speaking
one
the
of woke
truth.
brother for real. Who taught this brother? And then Tall Boy says the problem is we have our own agenda and dreams and forget about the problems from where we came from.
I agree with that to a certain degree. He's right. We do. We have our own agenda. We have our own dreams. And I wouldn't say forget. Yeah, you're right. And I would probably say you try to forget where you come from. The problem is then you don't go back to try to teach somebody else so they can escape. So now instead of having one, we have two. And then instead of having two, we have four that got out. Instead of
Yeah.
four, we have eight. That's how we progress, pulling each other up. For some reason, the ones that make it out of the crab, out of the barrel, forget to reach back and pull somebody up. And I get it to a certain point. I completely understand you. You know, you don't want to be a part of that anymore. You kind of want to move on. But in our culture, in our side, it's not enough no more.
Yes.
We're
That's
we're
exactly it.
we're in a situation now, man. We're in a situation now, and I sent you the link. The economist said black people will have zero contribution to the global economy in the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Zero.
That's just specifically why I wanted to start the show this way.
Yeah,
So, folks,
yeah.
we kind of off kilter just a little bit, but that's specifically why I wanted to, give everyone an action item, give everyone a challenge to maybe
Yeah.
go into this. Since this is our last show for the year, of just this is where Montel and I come, and I'm gonna let you keep going, but this is really the crux and the reasoning behind the mission behind why we do what we do.
Yeah,
That's the
I think
only reason that we do this is to make sure that we are all taking care of each other. Right. There's
I,
so much going on, and we're trying to make it relevant, and we're trying to make it understandable to everyone. Just like Top Boy here, his show, The Lab, he's making technology conversations that are easily understandable by everyone. We are taking everything that's around from a societal perspective and trying to break it down so that folks can say, we can do better. And it's
yes,
not too
absolutely.
late. There is opportunity, not just the youth, but for everyone else that's around us or around that sphere of influence. Go out there and touch somebody and be that positive example. So everything that you're saying right now and everything that everyone's commenting on right now is really adding some kindling to the fire that we going to be hot next year for sure, because
Yeah,
that just shows that we're
no,
doing what we should be doing. But this mission is right. This is a
yeah. Oh
just
yeah,
cause
yeah,
that we're doing. So I appreciate what Mom is saying. See, this is a great show. Hicks Media are reaching out to young and old. So we're gonna keep
yeah.
doing what we're doing. Go ahead, brother.
And I want to shout out Tall Boy, man, on this project with Lil Bootsy, man. I saw a little
Yeah.
bit of the clips he did. Man, congratulations to that success, and I hope we can build off of that, right? They build off of that. Like Lil Bootsy can tell his story.
Yep.
Hope Tall Boy can show some young men in somewhere in the Atlanta GA. Man, let's figure out how we can tell your story because it's an interesting story. How can we put that on film? How can we do those things? So
I
I
tell you
believe,
what.
man, that reach back,
Yeah.
is more important than anything.
Yeah.
For us.
Tall Boy, put the link in the comment to the series that you just posted, man, so we can make sure that's shared amongst this community as well. Sure.
Yeah, yeah. So I ain't trying to be no martyr. I ain't trying to be nobody on the soapbox. I just know
Nothing
what I
wrong with
see,
that.
man. I really
No,
do.
hey, nothing wrong with that. Again,
Yeah.
there's no need. We need to stop being so humble, and we need to be more aggressive. We as an
I,
overall people, right? So there's not going to be any more humility. we're not going to be
Yeah.
arrogant. We're not going to be cocky. We're going to be assertive and aggressive, and we're going to be confident. Right, but
Yes, I agree with all. I agree
there's
with all
nothing.
those.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with us sticking our chests out and saying, "Yeah, I know what I know, and I can help." And I'm a advocate. I'm an evangelist. I'm a subject matter expert. I know what I know, and I can help you if you having some issues. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
I would say my question now. My question to this change. I'm all for it. I would love this. I want to spearhead it. My thing is we got to eliminate the fear of success. Also,
Mm,
a lot of
come
people are
on.
scared to be successful. They are.
Wow.
They're very scared to be successful. They're scared if they make it. They talk the big game. They do. They talk. Oh, if I get this, I do this. I can do that.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah. But when it comes to the game, who's gonna take the last shot? Who's who's scared to take that winning shot? Tall boy, no. 10 out of that 12, 10 out of that 12 on that monster
He know.
ain't
Yeah.
taking not don't want to take that shot. They don't want no parts of that shot.
Who passing the
But
ball
some
and
want
who
to.
pulling up? Yeah.
Yeah, some want to, and I think we need to stop being fearful of success. And before we go on, one more thing, I think when we started this show, I think one of the things you asked me is like, what do you want to get out? So I go, I want the power of no. I want to give people the power of no.
Yeah.
Understand what's there. Do your due diligence, figure out what's there, gain that power of no, because now you can make a humble decision in whatever you do. If you know about it. So I think we're heading in the right direction as far as Team No Sleep is concerned, and I'm glad everybody's out there supporting and commenting. Man, I appreciate you guys.
This is
Beyond you
us.
guys will
Hey,
ever
this is us, right? This is family. Kevin
yeah.
Cox, I said, I'll take that shot. That's the man right there. Everyone who makes it big is willing to die for that success. News, man, we got to meet News. News coming through. Hey, ever since you joined the community, man, you've been hitting some bangers, man, for real. And listen, Tony Davis is in the building. Oh my goodness. Hit them game winners all day. Kevin Cox, Chief is in the building talking about my tail is bigger than
No, I can't feel those shoes. I can
you
only
know
be
what
me.
I'm saying?
But I appreciate you saying it. That's cool.
No, man, we just trying to provide value. We're trying to provide value, and with this community, we are definitely hoping to continue to do that. Let's get into some of these stories. We only got a couple of them, but we definitely wanted to get some of that information out to you guys as well. Where my Raider fans at? Where my Raider fans at? And how do you feel
Whew.
after your boy Derek Carr has been benched? Derek Carr, the coach pretty much told Derek Carr to go sit down. And it's for two reasons. One, the record is terrible. They haven't been winning. They've been blowing leads left and right, backwards and forwards, all kinds of ways. And also, if Derek Carr messes around and get hurt in these last two games, the Raiders have to pay his incredibly high salary. So the remainder salary for this year and for a little bit of it from next year. So he would be guaranteed something close to $40 million should he get hurt in these last two games. So he's out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I think it's the right thing for him to do in this statement right here, QB to step away from the team to avoid the distraction because again, he just not fitting in with the system. Something is going on. They looked good last year with the interim head coach, but with this new system, with this new regime, with whatever they're trying to do, and he's got weapons out there. Come on, he's got some targets out there.
Yeah, but
What's going on with Derek Carr? Is it the environment? Is it Vegas? Is he going to
it's
Circus
it's the
Circus?
system.
Is he not paying
No,
attention to the
it's
playbook?
plain and simple. Everybody want to avoid it. It is the system. Josh McDaniel's system is not conducive to what Derek Carr's strengths are.
Wow.
Period. You got to think. Derek Carr before all this stuff, what was the Raiders' MO? They would go deep, 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 deep. They're not a dump 5 yard here kind of team. They weren't. He wasn't built that way as a quarterback when he came in. Now, Josh McDaniels and the new owner, whatever I forgot his name, Junior is coming in talking about I believe in Josh McDaniels. I want Josh McDaniels to run my team because he can be successful. So what that means, since Derek Carr doesn't fit that system, he's out. He's out. You got it's all you got. I always tell people when people are like, "Oh, he sucks." He doesn't suck. He's not a sorry quarterback by any means. It's the system that doesn't work for him. And I want people to think about it. Alex Smith, when he first came in the league for his first few years, everybody said he was horrible, suck quarterback, waste of a pick. He finally got with a new system with Jim Harbaugh, and everybody's like, "Oh, he's the greatest thing. He's up for MVP candidate." So it's about the system you fall into, not how it is. He doesn't fit the system. He doesn't fit Josh McDaniels'
Josh
play
McDaniels,
calling.
yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't fit. It just doesn't work for him. So it's time for him to move on. I think it's right. Just go get paid for these last couple of weeks. Step away, regroup, demand your trade, and get up out of there. Because I think that's a fallen ship. Josh McDaniels has not been successful or nowhere he's been a head coach. Look that up, and that's facts. He has not been successful at all. He's a successful coordinator. He's horrible as a head coach.
Yeah.
He doesn't build a quality staff around him. He wants to run his system the way he wants it. He wants to be he wants to be the head coach in New England. Belichick. He's not Belichick.
Can't nobody else be Belichick.
Yeah,
Belichick can't even
he's
be
not
Belichick.
Belichick.
Yeah,
but he wants to be able to run his team and be like a Belichick. He's not Belichick. And you guys got to think, the successful seasons they had when Josh McDaniels was there, you know who had the most catches? The small slot receiver that had 100 some odd catches. Never your outside guys. What are the Raiders built for? Throw to the outside guys. That's why they got Devontae Adams throw the ball deep so he can make plays. Yeah, Josh Jacobs. Man, the system was set for them to go vertical. This dude wants to spread everything out and just dump, and make plays. So it's not him. And there was a team that is quarterback. They can get Carr, they're going to win next year. I'm telling you. Carr needs to go to Denver. I guarantee he will even do better right now than my boy Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson terrible.
Again, no, he's not terrible. He's hurt.
He's terrible.
And the offensive line is distant.
Russell Wilson hurt. Russell
Russell been hurt since the beginning of the year.
Why? Because he fell on his head? Well, no, I said
no. He had shoulder problems before he came in.
Oh, hold on, wait a minute. Let me backtrack. Let me erase all that from the transcript. That's true. I had to think about that. I should.
Yeah, he's been hurt since he got there, and their offensive line is horrible. With no with Denver with no running game. So how do you expect a quarterback that's been hurt, has no receivers, no number one receivers, offensive line sucks, and he has no running game? What do you expect him to do? He can't do anything.
So let's talk about both of them here at the exact same time. Okay.
Let me finish. So they wanted Russell Wilson to turn chicken shit to chicken salad. That's what they want him to do, and he can't do it because now he's even more beat up. You're asking David Carr, who had a great season, a great interim head coach, had the perfect thing where they made a big run, made it to the playoffs, and was successful in the playoffs. You get rid of him and say, here, we're going to throw you a whole new system, whole new playbook. You need to learn how to do this because this is what's going to make it successful. And it doesn't work. So Al Davis Jr., he's the biggest idiot in the world. He can't even sell out that stadium in Las Vegas because he wants to side with Josh Daniels instead of siding with his players. It's impossible for a guy to be so successful the year before and then all of a sudden be so horrible. The only thing that changed was the system.
All right.
It wasn't all the players are there. The system changed.
So why is it that Derek Carr and Russell Wilson are so horrible this season, or the records for the teams that they lead are so horrible, but you can fly a Baker Mayfield in, who I thought was less than average. You can fly a Baker Mayfield into the defending champs, and he is showing out. Doesn't know the playbook.
And you know why?
Couldn't download the playbook on his phone because he couldn't get Wi-Fi on the phone. So why is it that a Baker Mayfield can be successful?
I'll be able to tell you. Yeah.
Okay.
And the reason why? Because defensive coordinators haven't been able to prepare for Baker Mayfield in that system. They're not prepared for him. They don't know what he does. It takes at least a DC to catch up at least 1 year to 6 games to catch up with somebody, what they're doing in their tendencies in order to be successful. Now, Baker Mayfield does have somewhat of a running game. He has an okay offensive line, and he does have receivers around him. Russell Wilson has nothing except for him. He's running for his life on every play. That's why they can only manage 3 points to 13 points a game.
You talking truth?
David Carr is in a system where you got to think. If I have so little bit of success throughout the whole year, it just starts to weigh on you. You have less success as it keeps going on because we're running the same thing over and over again, and I'm not good at it. I'm not good at doing this dumping, throwing these 5-yard outs and just trying to drive down the field methodically. I'm used to hitting a big play down the field, scoring touchdowns. So in the way you can tell why the Raiders are bad, because when they get down behind, they have no answer. He's not Tom Brady. Tom Brady can methodically pick you apart by throwing 15-yard bombs.
Think about
throwing
it.
10 yards here, throwing an 8-yard out. He's very great at that. He's very precise at doing that. David Carr has always been successful at going vertical, throwing the ball 30, 40 yards down the field and the receivers making a play and be successful. And let's not mention the Raiders' defense is horrible too. It's no good because they're down so much. They can't do anything. So, man, that's just that
Vegas is a Patriots farm team, and the
it
comments just
is.
on fire.
But you know what's crazy about
Triple
that,
A.
man? The only person to blame about is Al Davis Jr. He's the only person to blame.
Yeah. He is not like that. He is not win baby win. Just I mean, just in name he is the same, but man, he just
that I forgot the Latinos coach's name. I forgot. Forgive me. I forgot that Latino brothers coach that was the head coach for interim.
Yeah, man.
But
and
that
he was killing it.
He had them on something special, and the fact that you fire him or you let him go, and you don't even keep him on staff. You could have said, "Look, we're gonna make you assistant head coach and do something." You let him go off staff, period. So, I mean, the Raiders get what they deserve, man. They get what they deserve. They shouldn't make the playoffs. I hope they lose and keep losing and lose some more even after that.
They're not my squad, so I'm not saying anything at all. I'm
still
fair weather Pittsburgh, so you know.
What I'm saying, they can't. No Raider fan can disagree.
No,
Raider fan can disagree.
Yeah,
so
and
good luck, brothers.
Yeah, good luck to them. And and Jim talk about I mean, you see so many of these altercations happen on the sidelines with teams with losing records, Broncos offensive line fighting each other, and a lot of all these altercations happening amongst themselves. It's.
But you know what though, that happens a lot.
You understand the competition, and you understand everyone's out there. These gladiators out there doing what they do. 300-pound men running up on each other hard, and at full speed. So you can understand that aspect of it, but.
You got to understand frustration too, though, right? It's your craft. Like we were successful. We're having some success, and now everything's going all hell when we're not being successful. Now the frustration starts to set in. That's when you start seeing those things kind of happen.
And that happens. Take it out on the person closest to you.
Guys fighting on the sideline is nothing new. That happens all the time. They're arguing. That doesn't mean anything. I think the part that people are more frustrated is that, man, this dude, Russell Wilson, who was, I still consider him a Hall of Fame quarterback in the end, but right now, he has nothing. You guys don't understand. You got to imagine having no number one receiver. Your number one receiver got hurt before the season started. Tim Patrick Jr. got hurt with a blown knee out for the year. So you go with that. You have no running game. And then you put together a Band-Aid offensive line, and you tell this guy, hey, go make it happen. You're a Super Bowl quarterback. You can make it happen. He can only make it happen with his weapons. Like, football is the ultimate team sport. You either going to be shy and be successful with your team, or you're going to be obliterated if you don't got no team. And he's just getting. I mean, he's just getting.
It's just a bad. It's a bad. I don't. And I say it. And hopefully, folks, Broncos fans out here don't hurt me for it. It just looks bad. Again, right, coming from a decent system and squad and coach with Pete Carroll up there and winning the championship and coming so close to doing it again, and just to see him go to somewhere who has a legacy built around championships and around excellence, and then to see them fall so low so fast, it's just horrible. That's my thing there. And then the Raiders, man, they in trouble. Like Kevin is saying, that Bosa boy. Listen, that Bosa dude, when he line up, I would just get out the way. To be honest, if I was the O line for the other team, I would just get out the way, because them Bosa brothers are coming for you. He just like J.J. Watt. Shouts out to J.J. Watt retiring at the end of this season. Right, he's Defensive Player of the Year in my mind every year. So I mean, there's some cats out there that's really putting in that work. So Nick Bosa is he coming for them Raiders and that rookie quarterback. That's gonna be hard to watch because.
But you know what?
Because he's gonna just dominate. It's gonna be hard to watch.
I'm on the hindsight. You say that really easy, like, hey, they're just gonna dominate. But to be perfectly honest with you, they may rally a little bit around the rookie quarterback, and he might have a little bit of success. I don't think they'll beat the 49ers by any stretch, but he might have a little bit of success in him just because, you rally behind that guy. You want to make sure you protect him and get there. But the Raiders, man, is just a horrible organization right now. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Josh, they've been, when they turned horrible, I'm gonna be honest with you. Not only when they lost, not only when they lost, old boy for the text messages and all that stuff. I forgot his name, the coach. But when AB, they lost it before that. When Antonio Brown had all those antics in camp, and we watched it on Hard Knock, right? Didn't want to play because of his helmet. Didn't want to do this. He talked his way out of a trade. I don't even know how he did that and all that money. He didn't care. Get me out of here by all means necessary. So he saw all the boat that was going to crash no matter what. So think of the Raiders been in Vegas, what now, 4 years now? Going on 4 years, 5 years?
Yeah.
Look at all the things, the problems they didn't have. The head coach, Antonio Brown, Josh McDaniels. You fired the Latino brother as the head coach. The dude, Tug with the accident. Yeah, Gruden. There you go, Gruden. Tug, the guy with the got a drunk driver, the number one receiver. I mean Henry Rugg, drunk driving stuff. They've had so many problems moving to Vegas. Almost like they got the Oakland curse.
Wow. I will leave that one alone. I will, and see, because now it's getting out of hand. We got the Oakland curse, and we got Jim talking about, hey, uh, he might be listening. Hey, Achilles, you want to get back into the draft, man? You want to get back out there I'm not even gonna go down that path, man. I ain't gonna go that route. That's hilarious, though. That's hilarious. All right, so there's that. There's that. These Raiders, known they're not doing well. Rebuild season. We'll see what happens to them from now on. But yeah, we'll talk a little bit more football as we get closer to the playoffs and things of that nature. We'll see if we got our credentials. I checked about an hour ago. We still pending. So I'll let you know.
I'm rooting for them Jacksonville Jaguars. They're looking kind of good right about now.
Bro, them Jacksonville Jaguars. Wow, winning with Lawrence. Right, we remember we had our dude.
Yo, everybody talking about how he was a bust, right? Oh, he's a
he
bust.
was a bust, man. God,
yeah,
dog.
right.
Trey Lawrence is out here just running, throwing.
System. It's a system, man.
Man, that's it, right. You get rid of coach out there going to the strip club, and now you got a bit of a winning record going. So we'll see what happens with that. We'll see if Andrew Nixon, from Preston Soul, because he's actually part of the Jacksonville organization on the entertainment teams. He's out there with his squad. Mm-hmm. They're out there playing the percussion and everything. And we've had him on the show. They happy right now. Out there in Jacksonville.
Oh, I know you happy. Yeah.
Oh, they listen, grinning from ear to ear, grinning from ear to ear. Nick's story here, not a great story, but unfortunately, it's a pattern. Unfortunately, we always seem to be talking about these types of things that are happening within sports and how they evolve. Domestic issues. So y'all have probably heard, if you're a boxing fan, Gervonta Davis is what I think he's a light middleweight, 135-pound boxer, based out of coming out of Maryland, accused of hitting a woman. Woman is the mother of his daughter. Mm-hmm. Gervonta Davis is saying, no, I didn't do it. I didn't hit her, even though there are 911 calls. There are other accounts that state that, there was some type of altercation that happened. Let's just put it that way. But the statement is right now, and he's since deleted it off of his social media accounts. And I'm going to put it right here. I never put my hands on my child's mother, nor my daughter. Are you effing crazy? Was a part of the post that Davis put out. I am not a monster. I've been quiet for too long. That's the only reason I'm doing this now, just to clear my name. And we're hearing this same pattern. It's almost cut and paste from a lot of these celebrities, artists, entertainers, whatever the case may be, that get caught up in these types of situations. Again, saying the same thing. It's not me. It's you. I'm clearing my name. Help me to help me to help me. Again, this is a situation where he's charged with striking a woman, and we don't know if he struck the daughter or not, but we know that the lady that was making the 911 calls had some lacerations on her face, so she was checked into the hospital for that. It's a shame. He's got a fight coming up too, right? He's got some fights coming up, so we'll see how that works out. The Boxing Federation, PBC, and Showtime are looking at if they're going to continue to have the fight on. My guess, I'm not a betting man. My guess is going to be on. They're going to do it anyway. They're going to I'm not going to say slap them on the wrist or I would expect them to do the due diligence that's necessary. I'm trying to be politically correct here. I can't even say it with a straight face. I would expect the authorities to do whatever they need to do to make sure that this situation is dealt with. But the fight is going to happen. There's too much cash involved. There just is. I'm sorry, right? We've talked about the realities of United States of American society and the commercial. The fight is going to happen. But it's just sad to have another situation, another story where we got a man, 28-year-old man, possibly striking a woman and having kids involved and maybe having some altercations with them as well. So
yeah, it's just a common theme, right? It's becoming
yeah,
a common theme, like you said, over and over again. We read about these domestic cases, and the situation that he put his hands on her or allegedly put his hands on her.
yeah.
I just think, man, that we got to figure out a way to walk away.
Like
When you're in
they're
that
saying right here, man.
situation,
Just walk. Just go
yeah,
outside.
you just walk, man. Go for a walk. And I know she's blocking the door and she's screaming and she's probably doing all these things, but you got to figure out a way to get yourself out of the situation and walk because it's never going to be a winning situation for the man, ever.
Yeah,
Ever. You're not going to win it. No matter, even if you're talking to her back aggressively, you're not going to win because they're going to say you're doing it in a threatening manner or an intimidating manner. There is no way you're going to win that situation in an altercation with a woman. You're
yeah.
not. So
And the problem with this right now, and the reason that it's such a negative cloud on him is what I've got highlighted right here. He previously had
mhm.
a similar charge back in
Yep,
2020, battering his ex
yep,
girlfriend. Right, so
yep.
it's an unfortunate pattern for this young man who, um,
It,
need
but
help, needs to take a walk.
but I'm not gonna put. I'm gonna be a little bit different. I'm not gonna put it
Okay,
all on him on the situation because one, we don't know. We don't know what the argument was or what was going on and how it was happening. Because I know all of us been in situations where we're arguing with our spouses or our girlfriends, and it gets to that point where it kind of gets physical.
yeah,
And you, I will never hit, but I'll move out of my way. But that would be
hmm
considered assault as well, right? In today's society, that's considered assault. You
true,
put your hands on him in any kind of way, it's assault. So he might maybe he didn't strike. I don't know what he did, but if he did strike her, by all means, you need to charge him as he's supposed to be. I'm firm for that. But I'm not gonna say that hey, this guy was in a situation where he just was going in there beat his girlfriend. I don't think that was a situation that happened at all. I'm hoping that it was an argument that got out of control, and I hope he didn't put his hands on her. But if he did, he needs to definitely you know go one be persecuted by the law, whatever that situation is, because that's just the way it's supposed to be. And the two, he needs to get help because if there's something that's consistently happening where he's putting his hands on his girlfriends or his spouses, then that's a problem within itself by itself. And the fact that he's a boxer,
yes,
he's not a normal dude. He ain't like a normal guy that's
yeah.
out there. This dude,
He know how to use the hands, right?
yeah, he
And
knows how to use
that's
his hands pretty well. And that's another reason why it makes me kind of think because if he really was really assaulting her like they're trying to make it out to be, with him being a boxer, he would have destroyed this young lady.
hmm
So I don't know. I don't know if he just pushed her out of the way or he did something. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't. It says a closed hand slap. A hand type of slap. That's a punch. A closed
yeah,
hand slap is a punch. I'm thinking if he punches her, it ain't gonna be pretty at
yeah,
all.
yeah.
So I don't know how truthfully that is or how over exaggerated that may be for the press. You know what I mean? Because
hmm
I'm really fearing if he punched her, it wouldn't hurt. We'll be seeing some pictures of her on TMZ that makes she look like Mike Tyson right now. Her face would be
And that's
so
true.
lumped up.
It's unfortunate that the main news source for a lot of stuff is TMZ.
Yeah,
And I didn't see it there when I did the research.
but
So
but see, they
we'll
just said
see.
it said that she had just a scratch on her upper lip or
Yeah,
whatever, and but that might be a situation where he's defending himself from her. We've all been in those situations when a woman's swinging on you. You're like, yo, get back, you need to
yeah.
back up.
It could have been a little bit of
It could have been one of
defensiveness.
those. So I'm
So
I'm not gonna convict him because just by the description when he said it, when I read a little bit, he hit her with a closed fist
yeah,
or a closed hand slap. That's a fist. And I'm sorry, a professional boxer of his magnitude, well, like I think he has 20 some odd knockouts out of 27
yeah.
fights.
He know how to use them hands.
Yeah,
So
he ain't gonna.
yeah.
I don't think he's taught to punch lightly. He's just gonna punch somebody. The brother knows how to punch people, so I don't know. I think that's a little exasperated, as
Yeah,
far as the story's concerned. Maybe just because they want to embellish a little because it's news and headlines.
yeah,
But I think there's probably a little bit more to the story, and maybe he did, but we don't know the circumstances. Like I said, a scratch on the upper lip seems to me like he probably was like, "Hey, you need to get out of my face," or "You need to back up," and he might have just accidentally nipped her or whatever, or he hit it. But he ain't hit her with no clothes. I'm telling you right now, he didn't hit her with no closed fist.
yeah.
Not by just having a scratch on the lip. That's not. He hit on the closed lip. All that split. That's split. That's busted all open. She would be leaking everywhere, and they would have took him. They would have really been some problems. But we haven't seen those. So I'm gonna have a little bit of reservation on that one.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll continue to follow that. Looking at it's in the archive, folks. It's one of those that we're gonna continue to look and see if it was going on. Mom was saying, was she lying on the floor? If she was on the floor, I can see. And we don't know. That part of the story hasn't come out yet. So I mean, this is
Yeah.
literally breaking news as of a couple of hours ago. So we'll figure out what is going on behind that, and if they will allow him to fight, because he's got this fight coming up here
Mm-hmm.
in a couple of weeks. So we'll see what's going on with that. The last story for tonight is much better news. Much better news. All my defensive football players know that, they're shut down corners, safeties. Listen, folks that are out there in that secondary, there's some bad dudes out there. There's some real players out there. And Mr. Ed Reed used to play for Baltimore Ravens. Mr. Ed
Mm-hmm.
Reed, who has a golden jacket, who has a bust out there in the Hall of Fame, has now been elevated to the head coach at Bethune Cookman
Great
College.
look.
Man,
Great
come!
look.
I just had to say it like I was Steve Harvey, right? Just let it ramble a little bit, because the man,
Yeah.
get that man his flowers, and every time I see a picture of him, I get scared. I just want to make
Oh
sure I'm not
man.
on his bad side, because the man
Yeah.
can do what he need to do out there on the football field, and now he is in charge. He's no longer just DC, and nothing wrong with the DC defensive coordinators. Nothing wrong with that, but he actually now owns program. So yeah, shouts out to Edwin. 44 years old out there too, man. Talk to me what you think about
Yeah,
this right
yeah,
here.
man. I'm hoping he has the same equivalent success like Dion had. I really do. I really think he's a guy that he's a brain. I mean, if you ever heard Ed Reed speak, and I encourage anybody that's a
Yeah,
football fan to go watch him on YouTube and have him break down film and players and things he did. Man, he might be one of the smartest players in football, especially during his era. I would say Mike Singletary, then maybe Ed Reed. I'm honestly, if you hear him speak about football and the things he did and the way he was able to dominate Peyton Manning, and he dominated
dominating.
Peyton Manning. He dominated Peyton Manning. The things he would do, the things he was able to grasp on, the things and tendencies he was able to pick up on. Dude, he's just a really. If you really love football, I highly encourage just YouTube and watch him speak, man, about football and talk about things. The dude is brilliant in that realm, and I wish him a lot of success. I was hoping he got even a bigger program. But Bethune Cookman is a good thing. I think a starting point for him for a head coach,
Yeah,
for him to understand how to build the staff, understand how to compete. I think he's going to bring a lot of that Miami with him because he's from Florida. He has a lot of ties there. They're going to bring a good, successful program there. And I hope he has a lot of instant success like Dion did. And if he has that, we're going to be hearing Ed Reed's name elevate probably to greener pastures as well.
yeah.
Um, it's funny. It's funny that the breeding ground now for coaches now is
Come on
now
now,
the
where
HBCU
is it
system.
at? What are they looking at?
It's the
What?
HBCU system. I mean, we got Charles there. We got my
Yeah,
man, Hugh Gray. I mean, is it Hugh over in Grambling? Damn, I'm a loss for names today. Guy from Grambling over there, ex
yeah,
NFL coach. We got Ed Reed there. We just had Dion there. We got Eddie George over there in Tennessee. Man, it's starting to be a really big breeding ground. I'm still, man, trying to get. I hope T.O. takes over Tennessee Chattanooga, man, his alma mater, and play there. I think if they just had that breeding ground for all these ex-athletes in the coaching realm, I think, man, it'll be a nice thing, and it brings a lot of light to the HBCUs.
yeah,
It does.
yeah,
It brings a tremendous amount of light to HBCUs, which deservedly needed, man. I mean, some of them are in financial crisis. I get it because there's not a lot of endowment there like other bigger schools.
yeah.
But
It's not an easy job, right?
yeah,
It's definitely not an
no,
easy
it's not.
job, and it's not
It's
built
not a
for
glamorous job. It
people.
doesn't pay a lot of money. It
Yep.
doesn't do it. They don't make the big $1 million like the Nick Sabans and all that. They
Yeah,
make maybe $100,000, maybe $90,000,
yeah,
which we know that's a lot of money to us. But I mean, for their stature, that's not a very lot of money for those
That's
guys where
true.
they've been at.
Yeah.
I hope they can kind of curb that success, man, and have it in those systems and breed a lot of players that come to those into HBCUs to elevate that play for it all to be Division One, so they can make money as well and be successful and have successful education. I think the mystique of HBCU is great, especially on the South and the East Coast. But us on the West Coast, we don't know anything about it. We don't have any understanding of what the HBCU and how that tradition works. Unless you came from
Yeah.
there. So
And
hopefully this brings a lot of light on it.
I tell you what, let's answer this question, because this is a great question that Kevin, brought up here, and he says, "Why is it only the HBCUs give the goats a chance? Why is it only the Bethunes and the Jackson States and why is it only those schools see the value of these great character ex players?" Right, great
Yeah.
character and sense of mindset and team building and leadership, things like that. Why is it that only? I'm not gonna say I have a problem with it, but I kind of, I wish that it would open up more. I do wish that some of the other
It's the
schools
same.
would open up as well. But why is it just HBCUs that are reaching
Because
out to these guys?
because those are the ones that give us a chance to open the doors, and most of those ads, those bigger schools, those bigger programs, have the same mentality as the Kansas City Chiefs coach. They don't want to give Eric Bieniemy a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys who's more than qualified, they don't give these other coaches a chance to, especially when it goes to being their first job. It's funny, you can give McVay 36 when he was 33 years old when he got his first head coaching job. Never played in
Yeah,
the league,
yeah,
never did anything, but that family nepotism, he had a family that was been in the league, they've been involved in the NFL. He gets a job when he's 33 years old. First head coaching job in the NFL, 33 years old.
yeah.
We have to celebrate Deion getting into a Power Five, who was an NFL great.
Who also has a gold jacket, right? I mean,
Yeah.
again, so one of
You know
the
what's funny? I'm just saying, can
yeah,
you see the irony of that? I mean,
yeah,
this guy's 33 years old and he never head coached anywhere. They just gave McVay the job to the Rams. And not saying he wasn't qualified because he was a great coach, he won a Super Bowl, but they just gave him his job. We, on the other hand, have to go through all these channels just to be considered to be in the Power Five. And we're celebrating Deion's with animosity, with split celebration, right?
true.
Half of us think he should have stayed, other half excited that he's going. And we're celebrating that, and it's not because of his lack of qualifications or his lack of skill set. It's just the way the system is set up. They don't give opportunities like that. They just don't. For whatever reason there may be, they have and a lot of it has to do with nepotism. It does. My friend, this friend,
Yeah.
I know this kid. Let me give him a chance. If they don't know you, we're not putting you in that situation.
Jim Hughes is talking about Leftwich. We talked about him before too.
Yes.
He deserves to be in that chair. He deserves to be in that office, right? And he deserves to have his own program. And
it's several. I mean, think about this, man. The coach hired a guy out of the commentating booth who was a center to be their head coach.
Why you keep talking the truth? But see, why are you making it plain, like my pastor used to say? Man, that's real.
It's sad, man. Like
wow.
the fact of the matter, they had a coach, an African American coach that's been there for a minute, who was an assistant coach, and they didn't give him a sniff. He didn't even get a chance to get interviewed for it. They offered it to Saturday, who had no prior experience, never coached nowhere, not even high school. He never coached Pop Warner High School or nothing.
Decent
and they give him the
teammate,
head
right?
coaching job.
Decent teammate, but didn't show any signs of being able to lead 52 people strong, right? 52 people, alpha males.
So to answer the question why we don't get that, again, because we don't have black owners. We don't have Latino owners in there. I'm sure if we had maybe something like that, we could probably elevate and do some things like that and give opportunities to them, but we don't. It was 31 white men and one Indian guy that owns the organizations. So they hire the faces that they feel they should be permanent there. That's in the NFL. Then you just go down one more level to Division I, Power 5.
Yeah.
All those ADs are white. Majority of I don't even know if there is an African American AD in the Power 5. I think they're all white. So they have privilege to hire the coaches they want to have there, which are mainly all white that are head coaches. Have a ton of quality assistant coaches that are African American, but most of the head coaches are white.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, they hire the ones that are around them and do good, but they tend not to promote within. they don't want to give that opportunity, which is sad, man. Even though we got we have the brain, we played the sport, we dominated the sport, we're able to articulate the sport, we're able to coach the sport, but the only ones that are giving us a chance are
Yeah.
our HBCUs.
Risk limb, risk livelihood, risk everything out there on the field or the
Yep.
court or whatever it may be, the pitch, and but we can't sit. So full circle. This is how we started the conversation, right? This is how we started tonight, right? Let's find a way to challenge each other to have these awkward conversations, to get me comfortable being uncomfortable. I'm gonna use your term for a minute, right? I mean, just those types of things, right? It's not too late. Everything that we said for the first 24 or 20 some minutes, right? Um, yeah, it's there's a light at the end of the tunnel. It's not a train coming ahead of us, folks. There are some opportunities coming. We just got to keep pressing on it. We just got to We need more of the Ed Reeds. We need more of the Deions. We need more of those types of opportunities coming to. We need them to get more applications and more offers as opposed to just offers and applications from the smaller. We need the larger institutions. We need the Raiders to call whomever. We need T.O. to get that job. Right? We need me in the meeting. We need that job.
Yep.
All of that. So I think we did it, brother. We did it. We went through our stories. We had good. We had some bad. We talked about a little football. We talked boxing. Man, that brother, he got to fix that. He can't do that no more. How you living? We gonna close out the year 2022
Man,
on a pretty
just
decent note here with some
blessed.
community folks. Yes.
Just blessed, man. Blessed
Yeah.
as usual. Happy. Can't ask for no more, man.
Hmm.
I'm loving that we have a great platform. I would ask everyone to share with a friend. If they can't tune in live, watch the repeat. But I think we have a really, really good, unique platform that nobody's doing. That I think that we got some voices that need to be heard.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think we're gonna be all right.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm not gonna lie, we dope. I'm not. I look at the numbers every single week. Yeah, we dope, and I'm seeing everybody on Twitter right now watching. I'm gonna get the aggregate after we log off, but we got to figure out a way, an incentive to get folks from Twitter to also come over to YouTube so they can engage and so they can add comments and they can take advantage of some of the deals that we're gonna have on merch and swag and things like that. Because
yeah,
listen, the Team No folks, let's just not get this twisted. The Team No Sleep swag store. Oh my god. Okay, hold on. We're gonna leave after this, but I got to bring this up. Man, hold on. Let's go here. That's the focus collection. Here. Goodness gracious. Montana, he wanted a bucket cap. He said, I got a bucket
yeah,
hat
yeah,
right there.
yeah.
We got the hats, we got the logo tank tops. Let me zoom in so y'all can see. We got two styles of hoodies. Couldn't get any underwear yet. I'm still working. I know he wanted some draws. We working on that. Maybe 2023, but we got some dope gear out here for Team
We got
No
some
Sleep,
gear.
man. See, my mom says she buying a bucket hat. Hold on, man. Let me give you the discount code for first before you drop all the cash. Let me at least give you a discount. You know what? Hold on. Everyone who buys right now, I'm gonna put a discount code in. I'm generous. Yeah. Don't tell nobody.
No, but I want everybody, man. Yeah,
Right there. They go.
definitely, man.
They go. Hold on. They go to discount code right there. If you go to social, right there, they go use that discount code H&M 40% off anything that you buy. Done.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you spend some of that Christmas money.
Go in. That's what I'm saying. Use
Yeah,
them gift cards you
yeah,
got. All right, brother. Go
yeah.
ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I just want everybody, man, have a blessed New Year. Celebrate, great. Have a good time, and then, like you said, being comfortable. Get comfortable being uncomfortable, having those conversations, man. Because we gotta change a few things going into the 2023.
Yeah. Yeah. We looking to take Team No Sleep on the road. Listen, we're gonna speak this into existence. We're gonna go to the community colleges. We're gonna go to the four-year universities. We're gonna go out there to the people and actually have these conversations. I think that's going to be hugely valuable and help grow the community. And at the end of the day, we're just trying to bring value. So we want to get out there in these streets, and no one's going to. first I said community colleges, right? No one's talking about going to those JCs and sitting down
Yep.
with them folks, right, and
Yeah.
having these types of conversations. I think if we could find some high schools even to go to, right, just because we always talking about reaching the youth
Yeah.
and reaching that. So if we can find some high school, maybe we can talk to our dude Kevin Bracey, who's always out there
Yeah.
doing his motivational speeches and entertainment motivation. We could probably get to some schools. So we doing big things,
Yeah.
folks. Stay with us. Enjoy the ride. We gonna
So,
keep trying to bring you valuable.
maybe we might be able to stream a few live ones that we go to and be able to have that discussion with at a school with a panel, and you
Yeah,
guys can see live exactly what we're doing. But I think we really want to be able to be that voice of reason and be that ear for frustration, right? We
yeah,
want to hear what people are frustrated about and hopefully give them some perspective on what's going on and how they can soldier through it and get through it and make sure they're okay and make sure they understand that hey, there is greener pastures on the side. You just got to fight through it and be persistent. I think if we could be that voice of reason, I think we're gonna have a really successful road show. Is why we're doing the podcast, while we selling swag out there, while we're doing the
gangster
whole
man,
thing for
gangster.
2023. I think we just blessed to be in this position, man. That we're ready to rock. It's ready. It's time to go get it.
That's it, brother. Take us home. We out. So, folks, be good to yourself. Have a very safe and happy New Year's, and we will see
Absolutely.
you on the other side. Be good to yourselves.